It's Monday morning, still dark outside. The alarm goes off like a punch to the ribs. You roll out of bed, half awake, half alive, dragging yourself to the kitchen. Coffee brews. The inbox blinks like a warning light. Another day of the same routine. Emails, deadlines, meetings that could have been messages. You stare at your desk the way a prisoner stares at bars. Then on your lunch break, almost without thinking, you check Bitcoin. 88,000. Your heart stirs. Not enough for a super yacht or a jet or a private island, but enough to make you ask the question you usually swallow. How close am I to never doing this job again? Because somewhere deep inside, whether you admit it or not, you're not stacking Bitcoin just for profits. You're stacking for freedom, for time, for mornings without alarms and nights without anxiety. You're stacking for the day you trade obligation for choice. So let's talk about it. Honestly, how much Bitcoin does it really take to retire? No hype, no memes, no hopium, just the math that could unlock the cage. The traditional world uses something called the 4% rule. The idea is simple. If you withdraw 4% of your portfolio every year, odds are you can live off it for decades. So if you want $60,000 a year, you'd need about $1.5 million invested. At Bitcoin, $88,000, that's around 17 Bitcoin. 17. The clean, textbook path to retirement. But here's the problem. Bitcoin isn't a textbook asset. It doesn't float gently like a market index. It rips, it crashes, it shocks, it humbles. It's a tidal force with teeth. Because of that volatility, some long-term thinkers plan using 3% instead of 4%. A buffer, a safety net, a little emotional oxygen. At a 3% withdrawal rate, you'd want closer to $2 million, which is around 23 Bitcoin. So if you want calm sleep and a low-stress off-ramp from the workforce, the conservative retirement zone, today, sits somewhere between 21 and 25 Bitcoin. But here's the twist. Price doesn't stay still. Adoption grows. ETFs vacuum supply, halvings tighten issuance, countries accumulate, institutions creep in, and there will only ever be 21 million coins. And most of them are already spoken for. If Bitcoin simply keeps behaving like Bitcoin, the equation changes dramatically. At $250,000 per coin, 10 Bitcoin can change a life. At $500,000, 5 Bitcoin might buy complete autonomy. Even 2 or 3 Bitcoin, if you're flexible, lean, intentional, could reshape a future. So the real question isn't, how much Bitcoin do you need to retire? The real question is, who are you? What does freedom look like to you? How much is enough? Not to flex, but to exhale. Bitcoin retirement isn't just a number, it's behavior. Stack steadily. Hold through storms, think in decades, not days. Because one morning, maybe sooner than you expect, you'll check your portfolio again. And instead of asking, could I retire? You'll feel something shift. Something quiet, something final. You'll realize, I don't have to be here anymore. And that moment, more than the money, more than the number, is the real reason people stack sats in the first place. So tell me, what's your freedom number? Thanks in advance for smashing the like button and subscribing your way closer to freedom.